Hi, friends. It's Peggy Noe from PrettyPaperCards.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I'm here with my little Yorkshire Terrier, Ellie, for a fun day of afternoon of card making this afternoon. Coming to you live from San Diego County, California. And it's a lovely day here. It was cloudy this morning, but then it got nice and sunny in the afternoon. That's what we have in May. We call it May gray. Usually we do have gray in the morning, and then it gets nice in the afternoon. So let's make sure. Oh, good. We are on. Roz, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by today. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to everybody. It's a wonderful, Friday's a great day. Friday is a great day. I'm kind of holding Ellie a little differently today. I was hoping that maybe she would like to stay a little bit longer. I'm not sure. We're gonna test. We're gonna test it out. So I wanted to tell you about an event that I'm having tomorrow because my little hi Anne, good to see you, and Margaret, good to see you. Vicki Eakins from Arizona, how are you? Um, my little cubbies up here are empty of cards because tomorrow my downline and friend Robin Dawes and I are having a catalog launch party over at her place. She has a beautiful large backyard, and it's lovely to, it's really a garden, and it's lovely to have it outside. For Margaret, it's morning, and good morning, Margaret. And so I have been so busy with that. Very busy getting ready, busy with paper shares and ribbon shares and card kits. And oh my goodness, Tina Lesson, good to see you from Granite Falls, North Carolina. How are you today? So anyway, it's a Good Friday, and tomorrow we're going to have. I'm looking forward to having our event, our catalog launch party. So we're trying to show them cards of every stamp set that we got and all the new colors. Hi, Marcia Fonte, good to see you. Because we want them to see everything. And I wish you were all here and we could all be together that way. But I've already shown you everything. Some of them don't watch my lives, and we're having Robin's people and my people all combined, so they need to see everything. Marcia from Michigan, good to see you. There's Ellie. Did you know you just yawned on a live? I don't think you're supposed to do that. Okay, so I hope you've all had a really great week. I have some show and tell things for you. Are you ready to get down and go take your nap? Okay. Okay, I have some really pretty show and tell things that I want to show you today. And then our card is, it's a kind of really, more than I usually do. So we need extra time for the card today. Okay, so show and tell. I have gotten you guys send me the prettiest cards. So Becky Schlossnagel sent me this darling, darling card. Isn't that just so cute? I just love that card. Thank you so much, Becky. And Colleen Ludicky, I hope I'm saying that right. She sent me this gorgeous Mother's Day card. Isn't that beautiful? Pink, my favorite color. Great embossing. I mean, look at that splatter. Hi, Lori. I haven't seen you for a while. Good to see you, Lori Mentovi. So I love that. And then I got something really special from one of my downline who's on here usually. I haven't seen her today, Tammy. And you know that I really loved that the teacup that we had that just retired, and I always made it in black and white. So wait till you see, she gave me a gift. She lives right down the street from me. And she brought me this beautiful gift. Wait till you see this. Check this out. Look at that. Isn't that so darling? Tracy Ludeman, good to see you from Kentucky, Connecticut. Yes, TGIF. I just think this is so beautiful. I just love it. And she gave me that as a little gift. And wait till you see that she made me a cute little gift tag. also with the black and white striped teacup. Isn't that just, I just have to hold it up again because it's so, so cute. I mean, I had never seen a black and white high rise uh, teacup on a towel. To me, it was kind of unusual. So, such a special little gift. Thank you, Tammy. Love it. Love all these little surprises that I get. I really appreciate you guys. Um, so, what else? Okay, my May host code prize, free gift actually. This is my May host code when you spend $50 or more in my online store. And the link is above for Facebook, below for my YouTube people. If you use this host code and place an order of more than $50, I will send you these fabulous adhesive back sequins trio pack, and the white sequins are up there right there at the top. You can hardly see them. They're pretty peacock, berry burst, and white self-adhesive sequins. So that's an extra little gift if you shop with me during the month of May and place an order of $50. All right, and then another thing I wanted to remind you, just a few more hours to order my Faith Creations kit for May, and it is a fabulous one. It uses this wonderful Courage and Faith stamp set. If you don't have it, you can get it as part of the kit, and if you do have it, you can get the kit without the stamp set, or you can get the PDF tutorials and the short little video. The cards are super cute. I'm just giving you a quick peek because it's what you're going to get. You're going to get the kit to make 2 of each of these. Is that right side up? Aren't those pretty? I love this stamp set. And so email me right away, Peggy at prettypapercards.com, and it's Friday, February 12th, 2023. So the pre-order is going to close in just a couple hours because I have to get the pre-order in. Carol Schaefer, good to see you. Okay. And I have one extra paper share. I made an extra in case I had an additional order, and I did not. So if anybody wants that last paper share, it's $65. I can send you a PayPal invoice. Email me, Peggy at prettypapercards.com. They're gorgeous papers. I'm going to send them all out on Monday. If no one orders that paper share, I'll keep it. And offer it at a later time, or you can email me anytime and see if I still have it. It's a really good one, and the stack is about that high. I think you get like 144 6x6 sheets. It's really a good one. So let me know if you want that last paper share. Okay, the card for today, I wanted to leave extra time, get through the announcements pretty quickly, because I have been wanting to make a fence card. I'm not 100% sure if it's called a fence card or a picket fence card or something like that, but I have seen them, and I've seen other demonstrators make them, and I wanted to make them. So I was over with Robin this morning. I'm going to get her back on here one day so we can do this together, because she and I have a lot of fun together. And we made one together as a sample, and then I came home and remade it to practice because it has some numbers, it has some measurements. So let me turn you down and I'll show you the card that Robin made. I kind of helped her a little bit, but she figured out exactly how to do it. So let me turn you down here and we'll see it. Okay, this is it. This is the fence, the picket fence. I like to call it the picket fence card. This is the one we made together, or she made mostly. And you see how this is the front, and then the inside. I'm sure we could do some things. Basically, you're going to write your sentiment in there. But when you stand it up, I can't really show you at this angle, but when you stand it up, it's kind of like that. So you see through the picket fence. Yeah, Roz loves watching Robin. Yeah, she does some YouTube videos also. So I really had wanted to learn how to do this. So we're going to do it together. Is that okay with you guys? And I'll give you the But I came home and made a different one just for fun, so we'd have two different ones. So this is the one I made. I had to make it pink, you know, I really wanted to. And I'm using some things that I want to show you, like a group of independent things. It's not like a bundle or anything. Well, I am using one little bundle, but I wanted to make it look kind of a bit viney, because I think that's what she did on her card, is make it look a little bit viney on the left. And so let's get started and I'll show you. But when we get to the number type stuff, okay, watch out. That's all I'm going to say. You might have to be patient with me. A lot of measuring. Thank you, Carol. Yeah, and Tina. And that's why I have my grid paper, because this is how she taught me to do it, with the grid paper, and it really works great, so I want to teach you. So I'm going to get my paper trimmer out and show you how to get it started. All right, so we begin with a piece of basic white, or whatever color you're going to use, 11 by 4 1/4. And what we're going to do first is let's score it at 5 1/2, as we normally would. Okay, so I'm going to use the gray score blade like that. And then we're going to go ahead and begin at the bottom and cut out 6 1/2-inch pieces. So I'm just going to put it, because this is one reason I really like the Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer. If you don't have it, if you can see, it goes to about 1 1/2 on the right side, and then you can pull out the arm and it goes way far on the left side. But for things like this, I think it's just great to slide it into 1/2 inch. And so we're going to cut out 6 1/2-inch pieces right from the card. That is going to make your card turn out the right dimensions. So that's 2. Okay. 3. And it's much easier than I expected. 4, 5, and 6 here. Okay, there we go. So there we have our 6 pieces, 1/2 inch by 4 1/4. All right, now we have our score line there, so we're going to fold our card, and it turns out just right on the top. That's the top part of our picket fence card. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and, because it's a fence, we're going to go ahead and emboss with the timber embossing folder, which I used on our last live. We're going to emboss these, whoops, oh, I'm so sorry. Hi, Lori. Margaret, you've done one using Dainty Delight. Yes, they are. I was just so enthralled with them. So what we're going to do is put our 6 pieces in here into the Timber 3D embossing folder. And of course you could do it without embossing. You could, I've seen the cards in a brown cardstock. Let's see, maybe I can get those going straighter. In a brown cardstock, so they look more fence-like, and you could certainly brush on some ink, you know, or with a blending brush or something like that to make it more worn looking. Okay, so we're going to put these in here. Let me just run that through. Okay. The angle is just a little weird up here. Alrighty, so I want to keep our graph paper right in front of me. So here are our little pieces. Now I wasn't really sure, our strips. I'm not 100% sure what is the front and what is the back, but what I've of the embossing folder. Oh, I got this all crooked, didn't I? I'm so sorry. Okay, let's go back to here. There we go. But what I figured out is I'm going to go with the front being the one I can feel more, where the grid is popped up. Okay, now we're going to stop here because we need to stop and make the flowers because they need a few minutes to dry. So to make the flowers for this particular, you know, you can use any flowers, like Margaret said, and Robin used different ones. I'm going to use the Petal Park Builder Punch, and I'm going to use some Bubble Bath cardstock. And so one of the things I want to show you today also, kind of two techniques. One is to make the actual card, and another is to make flowers. And this one is really, these are easy to make, but maybe you've never actually kind of manipulated the cardstock to make the flowers. So I've punched them all out, and there are two ways to do this, and I've got two samples that I made ahead, so we only need to make one. One, I squinched up the paper, and I'm going to show you how to do that, and then layered all the petals. Another one, I only curled the petals with my bone folder. But I truthfully prefer the squinching, it's just what I call it. And this is hard for some people to do this. But you just squinch the flowers up like this. And what it does is it breaks down the fibers, and it makes it easier to... Hello, Renee, good to see you. Oh, Margaret, it was the Timber 3D embossing folder. Yeah. And she's done one using Dainty Delight flowers. Okay, so this is what I prefer to do. I like to get the fibers in the paper all relaxed, kind of. And these particular flowers do not, you can see that they are not cut in on the petals very much. And in order to curl the petals up really effectively, what I like to do is go in and just cut a 1/4 of an inch to 1/8 of an inch between the petals, so that it's easier to curl them. So I'm going to do that on each one of the flowers. That one was the one with the most petals. Just a tiny, you don't want to cut too much, or you could cut the flower off or have it fall apart on you, which you don't want to do. So just a tiny bit. And then here on the tiniest one, the smallest of the three. It's a great punch because it does make the 3 sizes, which makes for a very lovely flower. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I actually can kind of use my fingernails a little bit, but you're going to, and you probably will need to do this several times. You might need to pull up the edges because we're going to do several things with the flowers, but I just kind of roll them upward, and then we're going to glue them together. I hope you can. Yeah, I'm in the camera. I want to make sure. Sometimes I'm working down here where you can't see. Okay, so all we're going to do is glue them together. Put a little dot of glue in between them. If you want them to be real dimensional, what you can do is put dimensionals in between. Sometimes I put the mini dimensionals to adhere them together. And you try to alternate the petals if you can. This one, these flowers, really, if you just put them together like that. Okay, that's what we needed to do. So I'm going to set that aside and let the glue dry. And now we're going to go back to our card. All right, so now one thing I wanted to show you that Robin did that I changed up a little bit just for fun. She put her what you might call fence posts on the front of the card and cut a triangle at the top of each one. You really can't see that one, for the top of the fence post. I decided just for fun to put mine underneath that area. So that's what I'm going to do. And the grid paper works so well. It is your friend. I'm only going to say that because everything is about 1/4 of an inch from everything else, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 of these for the fence posts, okay? And I think I'm going to set this on the 3-inch line. I'm just remembering so that each side, I can get each side uniform. So I'm going to set the top of the card, this is the little short area, on the 3-inch line, and I'm going to glue this guy in, this first fence post, 1/4 inch from the left and up about 1/2 inch, okay? So I know where to put my glue because I know where I'm putting the fence post. And this is the inside of the card, remember? And so, let's see, that's why glue is good, because you can move it. I'm going to put it up about 1/2 inch on this part of the card, and I'm going to run it down along the 1/4 inch line. Let's see. This is why glue is good. Okay, there we go. This is what's going to make your card turn out right. So we're going to give that a moment to dry. We're going to take the other one, and actually I glued that one upside down. Okay. Boo-boo. And probably no one would have noticed except I did. So again, we'll try it again. There we go. The texture is on the other side. So I'm going to do this one the same way. So I'm on the 3-inch line. I'm going to glue in 1/4 inch with the texture down. Okay. And I want to be up 1/2 inch from this base and in 1/4 inch. And I think that's about it. I don't know if you can see real clearly that I'm running it right along that 1/4 inch line. Hi Kay, good to see you. And we'll just give that a few minutes to set up. So we know those were straight. Let's just get that back. Okay, that is going to be a problem one, I can see, because I've got glue on the back of it. Okay, what I'm going to do with all of you watching, because you make mistakes just like I do, and so this is the inside of the card, so it's going to face the inside and could possibly stick to the inside of the card. So I'm going to take my little glue remover here and see if it will work at all to get some of that glue off of there. It is. It's strange how it turns it kind of gooky, but this is what I do. This is a glue remover thing. You can get it on Amazon if you have never used one. Okay, I think it's working. There we go. All right, now let's see if it's lined up still the same. We're going to have to move it just a little bit over. Okay, and the one on the right is lined up correctly. So I think they're both good now. And that's important. It's really important to get those two on correctly. All right, now we can fold our card. So this is the front of our card. And let's burnish that line a little bit more. I'll pull it over where you can see it better. And I see that this is a little rough looking from the paper trimmers. So I'm going to press that down a little bit. That'll get rid of when you cut, sometimes it leaves a little bit of a jagged edge, not as straight as you might want. And this is our little buggy guy. Let's check him again. He's still, well, it's pretty good. Okay. So there we go. This one is over a little bit further, isn't it? Try to move that guy just a hair bit. You know what? I don't think anybody's going to notice. Okay, so these are our fence posts. And now what we're going to do is trim off the ends. Oh, the erasers are at Dollar Tree. Thanks, Marcia. Okay, so we trim off the tips. So that's the beginning of our fence posts. Tammy, good to see you. The groomer is there. Oh, but you have some time. Good. I showed them the beautiful towel that you gave me, and they loved it. Yes, they did. Okay, so now we've got our cross ones, and what we're going to do is I'm going to continue to put my card on grid lines, and I think this time I'm going to put it on the 3-inch grid line. That might have been the same one I had before. And we're going to go 1/4 inch apart. So this little one is going to be a problem guy. Okay, well, we're going to hope to get it fixed up. So we're going to put a dot of glue. Can you see? I hope you can see, because the first crossbar is at the bottom of the card. Okay, so because we've got it along the graph paper, all you do is glue it down along the bottom of the graph paper right down here. Let me lift it up a little bit. And when you're holding it on the graph paper, it should be a 1/4 inch, basically a 1/4 inch from each side. And then we're going to go and do the second one. Robin did this a little bit differently. She put dots and then went in and put her little strips on. But I tried that and I made a gigantic mess. So I'm just kind of doing it a little bit differently. So then you're going to leave 1/4 inch on the grid paper and put your second crossbar on. And you can see that it's lining up just right with your, let me just pull that one over just a tad bit. When you move one, then the other one might move too. So the goal is to have them all 1/4 of an inch apart. And the trick is you have to keep your whole card lined up on this line too. That's what I mean. Some of you are so much better with this than I am, math-wise and so forth. Okay, let's do this. Put the next one on 1/4 of an inch apart, just like that. Once you get started, it's really easier. And then, so I'm feeling for the texture on the top to make sure I'm getting the texture on the front. And then a dot there. And we'll put this one on, and then guess what? It's going to be, the picket fence part is going to be finished. And we can do my favorite part, which is decorate with flowers. And so we want to just leave it and don't touch it too much for a minute. But then you see how it all works out, and it's pretty close to exactly perfect. I made one and I got them all over. I wasn't paying attention and I got them all pulled out. They were all off to the left. But isn't that great? There you go. You lay out your strips, Renee, and then add the post to them, and then add the whole thing to the card. Okay, so there are just different ways of doing it, depending on how you do things. All right, now we're going to go ahead and cut our designer series paper, and I want to get my ruler out here. Okay, let's see. Everything is, once I get one thing out, things move around. That's one reason I generally don't use grid paper, because it does move around. Okay, so I'm going to set this off to dry, and this, I wanted to show you, this is a piece of designer series paper from the new Delightfully Eclectic paper. And this is one of those giant papers where you get 48 12 by 12 sheets. And it's tons of paper, and the patterns are beautiful. Check this out. It's so hard to use one side or the other on this because I love it. And so we need to measure to see what size this piece is going to be, and it's going to be 2.5, and we already know, by 4 1/4. Okay, so let's cut a 2.5 inch piece here, and then we're going to go, oh, you know, I remembered the last time I needed to cut a little extra, just because you never know how. It's good to sometimes cut just a tiny bit extra there, because if just a little hair could be too little. Let's see if it's, perfect. Okay, so now we're going to glue this on. I just thought it made it look like a garden. I wanted it to look like a garden trellis. Maybe that's what I'll call it, a garden trellis card. I think that's what my goal was, is to look like a pretty garden with greenery and so forth. There we go. So there is the top. So from here on, it's not too hard. Now I wanted to show you a couple of things. I told you it is a lot of little individual things. So I got these dies, which I've barely used, the beautiful paper florist dies. You guys, they make gorgeous flowers, but I am just at the beginning of learning all that they do. So I've just made a few. That is not the one we're using today, but it's just one let's see, it was made with this, and this is kind of neat. Check that out. So when you run that through the die machine, those are all the layers of this particular flower. And I know one of these is one of the centers. I haven't had time getting ready for the event tomorrow to really, play with it. I need to just cut everything out and see what goes with what. This flower right here is, let's see, it's this one. Okay, that's a 2. And then this one has 4 layers, and that is the 4 layer. Isn't that cute? But I'm showing you this to say that I used this particular leaf for the leaves on today's card. I liked it because it has the little dots on the leaf for the veins, and I'll show you. Check this out. Isn't that cute? Can you see the little veins? I'm not sure if you can, but it's just really cute. The long strip is a stamen. The long strip. Oh, you know what this is? Is this the one you're talking about? This curls up to make the inside, and let me show you. All these flowers plus some others are on the back of the catalog, and that strip makes, that thing. Is that the stamen? Is that what you're talking about, Marcia? I think, yeah, you wrap it up and it makes that. So you guys need to keep me on track. Hello, Becky. Good to see you. Thanks for popping on today. Okay, so now we're ready to use our leaves. And I'm just going to, this card is not one that you're going to be putting in an envelope unless you put it in kind of a fat envelope. I don't even know if a padded envelope would work that much because it has things, the flowers are sticking out. Okay, so I'm going to start to glue the leaves on, and the trick here is that you have to glue the leaves and flowers onto the we're calling it a trellis. Paper florist must have, yes, that's it, the stamen. You must have it, that's true. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue on the back of this leaf, the base here, and I'm making sure to put, this is gluing onto the DSP and this is gluing onto the fence post there. And before I put them on, I'm just curling up just a tiny bit, okay? So then I'm going to do one that kind of comes down about like that. And of course, I think we have lots of, I'm sure people are going to find maybe better leaves that do this. I don't know. We have so many different leaves. This is just what I grabbed that I had handy that I thought looked kind of trellisy, like leaves in a trellis. And let's curl these just a bit. I'm just doing it with my finger. You could use a bone folder. But again, I really like, it actually cuts little holes. Let me see if I can get this right up next to the camera. There you go. Can you see those little holes now? Isn't that kind of interesting? That's why I like this leaf. So then this one, all you do is glue these down, then you're going to put your little flowers right on top. Let's see, okay. That, don't know if I can get, yeah. I'm just talking to myself a little bit because I want to make sure to get the glue mostly on the fence posts, okay? I know I did put some back in there. Hopefully that, maybe I didn't. Okay, good. So now we're ready for our flowers. We'll pull out the 3 flowers. We made one and I pre-made the other 2. And now that they're dry, you can completely fluff them up. And what I do is I just pull those little petals all the way up. I fluff them a lot. Before I take pictures of my cards, I usually fluff up my petals. Because it just makes it look so realistic if you can fluff them up like that. Just fluff up your whole little flower, and we are going to use dimensionals to adhere them. Okay, so we're going to put 1 dimensional here and put this flower right on that. The problem is I probably fluffed them too early because you do need to press the dimensional down. And we're going to put 1 dimensional over here and put 1 flower over there. That got a little off the fence post. Let me see if I can pull it off. this. Okay, I'll put it up a bit. So we'll do this and then I'll do more fluffing later. Okay, and our third flower is going to go, I think, right in, let's see. I think I'm going to put it right in here. Obviously, you can put them anywhere. Put that right there. Okay, now I'm going to, before I fluff them, I'm going to put on some of the 2023-25 in color dots because I really like this one. This one here. This is the plum color. No, not plum. Sorry, boo-boo. Moody Mauve. Moody Mauve is the color. Okay. And then we'll fluff once we get all these on. You know, sometimes I tell my husband when I'm getting ready and he's ready before me, I tell him, you know, beauty takes time. And so I guess that's what I would say about this card, is that beauty takes time. It takes time to make these pretty flowers. This would not be your super quick card for a beginner. Okay, now we can go back and fluff all of our little petals, pull them up. I won't take a lot of time because I want to get onto the sentiment, but you can see how pretty. For the picture, I'll put them all up pretty. But isn't that cute? Yeah. So now we need to make a little sentiment. And just look how cute that card is already. I need to work on that just a little bit more with the glue remover. And if I wanted to, I could put another piece of the DSP or something else, even cardstock, over that. But I don't think it looks too bad if I get that little mark off. Okay, what else did I want to show you today? You've seen this, but I wanted to show you that I'm using a lot of individual little things. So I really like these label dies because they're stitched. So I want to use this particular label die, and I actually cut some out in advance so I wouldn't have to take the time to do it. And the sentiment I'm using is I really appreciate you, and these are both the Timeless Arrangement bundle. And I thought I really appreciate you is so heartfelt. I like that for a sentiment. And I'm using Berry Burst. So we'll just stamp this right in the center. This little die, the stitching actually has little X's on all four sides in the center. That's a little different and kind of cute. So let's see if I can get this right in the center here. There it is. Okay, I really appreciate you. And then we'll just put this up on dimensionals. And I thought it looked kind of good just right down there. So where are my dimensionals? There they are. And again, I like to show you things that you can use anything with. So this, you can make any kind of flowers you want using any kind of flower dies or punches, the way I showed you to make the flowers. And you can make a trellis card. I like that much better than picket fence. So you can make a trellis card using any DSP, any flowers, anything you want. I mean, you could even make it butterflies. I think it could be butterflies, ladybugs. We have a beautiful ladybug set, but I think they're a little bit too fat. Maybe little bees. Wouldn't that be cute? Okay, so we'll look at, there are the two cards, and that is Robin's sample, and that was using Darling Details stamp set, stamp set, and this is let me see, Countryside in paper, and that is a die and a sentiment from, I can't remember, but anyway, very cute, very fun cards. Something different, right? A fancy fold. All right, let's come back up and we will award a prize. Thank you, Tina. Thank you all. Okay, wait, I didn't come up, did I? Okay, there we go. All right, So last week our prize was the ribbon that just retired, the seam binding ribbon that you can color and that I colored all the time. And the winner for the seam binding ribbon is one of my YouTube watchers, Judy Ernst Hop. And Judy, I don't have your address. I'm going to try to connect with you over on YouTube. If you watch this, please send me your address so that I can get this to you. And all of you know that that you have a 2-week window to claim your prize and send me your address. If you don't claim your prize within 2 weeks, I put it back in my stash. But I'm going to connect with Judy, so hopefully she'll get it. And I appreciate my YouTube viewers so much. I want to thank you all very much. And then the prize for next week, it is a group of my cards, but they're little note cards. And they're made with a set that just retired, and the name has escaped me. You guys tell me. These are really sweet little note cards from using our note cards and envelopes set. Aren't those cute? And it's a set of, let me see, there's some different colors. It's probably 5 or 6 here. Oh, here are some pink ones. Okay, so that's 3, 5. 5 little, oh, there's a Christmassy one. Okay. Thrown in for good measure. A cute little red one. I don't know that it's Christmassy. It's kind of red flowers. So a set of 5 little thank you notes on the note cards. So if you'd like to be put in the pot for winning that prize next week, put the word prize, and I'll draw next week. So you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's fun to see all of you. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see